Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to simplify this complex fraction here. All right, so there's two parts to this fraction, right? We have this fraction underneath the main fraction, which is the denominator of the main fraction. And then we have this numerator here, right? The numerator, which involves a numerator and a denominator of the overall. So what we're going to do first is we are actually going to simplify the denominator by adding up 1 over x plus 4 plus 2 over x. Okay, so let's do that first. So before we even get into the full thing, I first just want to figure out what is 1 over x plus 4 plus 2 over x. Well, in order to figure out what just this is, we need to make sure the denominators are the same in order to do that. So to get the denominators to be the same, I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator of our first one by x, and numerator and denominator of our second one by x plus 4. Like that. And then we end up with x over x times x plus 4 plus 2x plus 8 over x times x plus 4. Because keep in mind, we have to distribute this 2 into the x and into the 4 in order to accurately measure this. Okay, now I'm going to add my fractions together to get 3x plus 8 in my numerator and x times x plus 4 in my denominator. Okay, so that simplifies the denominator of the fraction overall. So we end up getting that this is equal to 5 over x plus 4 all over 3x plus 8 over x times x plus 4, like that. Okay, now I'm going to notice that whenever we have a fraction sign, it's the same as dividing. So this is the same as 5 over x plus 4 divided by 3x plus 8 over x times x plus 4. And then how do we divide fractions again? Well, we take the division sign and change it to a multiplication sign, and then we take the reciprocal of the second rational expression. So it ends up being x times x plus 4 over 3x plus 8, and then our first fraction is just exactly the same, like that. Okay, now I'm going to cancel out the x plus 4 in the numerator and denominator and multiply through. So we're going to get 5x over 3x plus 8, and this is our final answer. Now, what about restrictions? Are there any restrictions here? Well, yes, anything that was ever a denominator in any step needs to be considered for restrictions. So let's go back to the very first step and see if this first step gives us any restrictions. Well, yes, there's two different denominators here. Well, really three, but we have x plus 4, and then x plus 4 again, and x. So that tells us what? Well, that tells us that x cannot be equal to 4, or sorry, negative 4 rather, and x cannot equal to 0 either. Okay, so it can't equal either of those things. Then, in our next step, we also notice that this entire thing is also a denominator. And so, therefore, 3x plus 8 over x times x plus 4, that cannot equal to 0. That means that 3x plus 8 cannot equal to 0, which means x cannot equal to negative 8 over 3. Now, if we continue to look at the other steps, we'll notice that there aren't actually any other values we'd get from any other denominators that we don't already have here so far. And so these are our restrictions, and this is our final answer.